Hey guys, today's February the 27th of 2018. I want to go over uranium URA and uranium futures using WDGAN price and time technical analysis and also including machine learning and market geometry. So please pause the video and read the video disclaimer. All right, guys, so this is going to be an alert. I just noticed something on the futures that got me concerned. I kind of made it seem on my last video, which was yesterday, that it was kind of getting a little bullish Momo. But looking at it now, look what we have here. Look, selling pressure. It could be, chopped back and forth, but I'm leaning towards the forecast that we are going to head lower, and that's not looking good if we're going to go higher. And this is the futures. So you look at my video from yesterday, we got a nice little pop, and I was saying we need to get above 22.21, but it could chop around here. But right now, it's not looking, the low here was 21.40, and we at 21.25. So we already cracked this pivot low. And if it gets Momo and it pushes lower, chances are we're going to go and test this 2046, which is that swing pivot low here. And if we can't hold that, then we're going to get this swing low, which is 1915. And if we can't hold that, then we're going to test the low, which is at 1785. And I also want to share that there's, I follow WDGAN, and I'm including machine learning and, market geometry. WDGAN's theory was that you had to watch the 10-year and the 7-year cycle. And the 10-year cycle on the spot already kicked in July from the all-time high. If you look at the spot, uranium prices, the 10-year cycle kicked in July, June, July, somewhere around here. And the 7-year cycle is from the Fukushima high, and we're coming into that in March. So my theory is that if the 7-year cycle is gonna do something, and it's not always on point, like the 10-year cycle kicked in June, July, and nothing really happened, but it's been stabilizing since. Actually, if you look at uranium URA, it's been stabilizing since January the 20th of 2016, and it's just been going on a sideways range. Uranium futures stabilized was 11:30 of 2016, 11:30, 12 around there. 1208. It stabilized, and it's just, as you can see, it's been, this is the futures. So you see, it's just kind of stabilized here, and it's going back and forth in this range. So if we can't get above here, then we're going to go here. So my theory is that maybe the 7-year cycle is just going to create this flush and pop up. But, it remains to be seen. I'm just telling you what I'm seeing and how I use WDGAN's cycle analysis and other, things that I'm including too that I watch. So let's go over here. This is URA. It hasn't opened yet. This is yesterday's close. And there was a 1225 it needs to hold. What was the low? That was actually, not 12, 1325. It needed to hold. So let's see how this open starts. But this is, indicating that we probably could go lower. So that's not good. If this thing starts selling off, it's going to do a trigger effect on the uranium, and it's going to push lower. And possibly target could be that 1307. And if that can't hold, then it's going to be going down to 25%, which is at 1249. So let's see how this market is going to open. Let's also look at the This is just a little educational tip in regards to studying cycles analysis. And, sometimes it's good to have a lot of data, and I have data from like when the URA ETF opened, and I have data from the uranium spot price. And I don't know if I have it all completely, but I have enough where I could do some good analysis and just kind of figure out, cycle wise and time wise, price and time, where we at, ballparking it. And I decided just to use the low of January the 20th of 2016 and just kind of work on this range because we've just been going sideways. So I just popped in some cycle analysis, and you can see that right here, there's a cycle within this range from January the 20th all the way to now. There's a 158 day cycle, which is that red one, and you can see that, and this has already been picked up. So this is the past. This color right here is the future. So if we get closer, you can see that it's creating, you got to pick the swing top here, and now uranium selling off, URA, and now there could be a possible bottom. So, even if my forecast of 320 doesn't pan out, that's the algo saying that, that's a possible target. Just think of it as this, that somewhere between March, there could be a possible low. And I could be wrong. It could probably be in April, like the July, 10-year cycle, nothing really happened, just been going back and forth. So, but you just have to kind of like have a game plan. All right, so let's just play with the game plan is that March we're going to have a low. And the algo, which I'll show you, is telling me, where is that? Right here. This was just telling me right here. Around March the 20th, we're going to have, and it could pop here. This, what is that? The second, the first or the second, it could do a nice little pop, maybe do a head fake and push lower. But this is what it's showing, that it's just going to do a pop here, but the low will be here, and then it's just going to do its thing sideways and maybe, continue just going higher. But that's what it's saying in the future. Looking at CycleWorks, it's saying that the low could be possibly kicking in anywhere between March, the first week of March, using that 158 day cycle. Then there's a 77 day cycle, which is this blue line. So it coincides with this low, picks up this top with the algo, and goes down. It inverted here. Prices still continue. Then it got a nice little pop, and it looks like there could be a possible swing top. So that's lining up with the algo forecast. And then it's saying that it's pushing lower all the way to April. So we'll see. And then cycles never always lock in sync. They just kind of, there's different, variations. And then the last one is the 57-day cycle, which is this low. Picked up here, it came a little later, went up, pulled back down. This is a smaller cycle, so it's going to fluctuate quicker. But it picked the top here. So you see sometimes they all kind of line up. There was a swing top here. This thing kept pushing lower, and it picked this low here. And then there's like a kind of swing top between, the 15th, and then it pushes lower into April. So if you like line all these up, this is the picture you get. So it looks like these two from the swing top of December the 11th and 14, you got this like invert, but with the bigger cycles pointing as a top, and the smaller one, which is a 57-day cycle, inverting. And then you do some, Gann analysis, date, price and time, and then you just kind of figure out, this is kind of helping you. Like, there's going to be a top here. I shouldn't be buying URA. I shouldn't be buying Cameco, UEC. This thing is going to pull back. And, if you got a good strategy, then you short it or wait. You're going to be in the sidelines and look. And then it just came down, got a little pop. And, within this bear channel, because we haven't broken it yet. And then, this one bottomed here, which is like the first week of March. These two are top, so they're kind of like inverted. And then they all kind of like, these kind of bottom here, and then everything kind of swings up. And this is nice when everything kind of swings up, because then everything is just kind of being like, all right, so now we're kind of all going up, kind of getting bullish. So this is where you got to be watching right here, this March, with the 7-year cycle kicking in. The 10-year already kicked in July. The 7-year cycle, which is the Fukushima high, which is with 311. So that's I think it was 311. Anniversary date, as Gans said, you just got to watch those dates. Those are special events besides birthdays. And you just got to see what it's going to do. I also have the on the bottom, this is a harmonic, and then it's optimized. So you can see that these are just turning points, nothing there. There's a turning point here, which lines up with these cycles. So it's very, locked in. I call them clusters. And then it's pushing lower right here into the last week of March. And I think that's it of what I wanted to show. So it's not a quick video, but I just wanted to give you a heads up. My purpose was just to show you that the futures are not looking good. We just cracked a pivot low, and this could, push the uranium sector lower. So if you are long UEC, Cameco, the Denson, all these companies, tighten your stop, because we could go in for a ride. Hope you like this video, and I'll keep you posted on my thoughts on the uranium sector.